Coming up on the last call, the 83rd annual Tuskegee Morehouse Classic was an instant classic, with the game going to overtime for the second year in a row. Plus, we rewind the games for Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn, with one of those teams leaving with a loss, and we got you covered for the week that was in high school football. It's all on the last call, and it starts right now. Welcome back to The Last Call. I'm your host, Justin Holbrook. On the first Saturday in October, we saw 3 top 10 teams go down, including 2 in the SEC. But we start with a game that's been going on for more than a century. Let's run it back. To put it simply, Tuskegee and Morehouse do not like each other. They've met 112 times on the gridiron, with the Golden Tigers winning an overtime thriller last year. And guess what? We had overtime again this year. Let's go to it. This rivalry became an annual classic back in 1935, and for the 83rd year in a row, the Maroon and Golden Tigers faced off in Columbus. Slow start for both teams. It was tied at 3 at the end of the first. 4th and goal from the 1. Justice Owens gives Tuskegee the first touchdown of the game and a 10-3 lead in the second quarter. And Morehouse has an answer. Santo Dunn is going to get the carry for the Maroon Tigers. Makes a great cut to the middle and hang on, 41 yards to the house, and we are locked at 10, and that would be the same score at halftime. Golden Tigers got the ball to start the second half. They march all the way down the field on 1st and goal from the 2. Owens finds the end zone for the second time, and Tuskegee retakes the lead 17-10. Late in the 4th, still 17-10. Morehouse facing 4th and goal. Dunn pitches to Frank Bailey Jr., but it's a fake. He stops and lofts it to Tramel Gooden, and he's got it. Extra point is good. We're heading to OT for a second year in a row. Both teams missed a field goal in the first OT, so in the second overtime, it's a reverse for Tuskegee to Javarius Cheatham, who takes it all the way for the tutty, 24-17 Golden Tigers. But just like the whole game, Morehouse has an answer, and once again, that answer is Santo Dunn. 16 yards for the score, and we're tied 24 or so. Triple overtime. And if you're the Maroon Tigers, you go with what's working, and Dunn was working that defense. Slips a tackle and goes 14 yards for his 3rd tutter of the game. 2-point conversion is no good, so Morehouse is up 30-24. Golden Tigers have a chance to tie and even win, but on 4th down, the Morehouse defense comes up with a game-winning stop, and the celebration is on at Memorial Stadium as Morehouse gets overtime revenge, beating Tuskegee 30-24. Well, for good reason, there's been a concern among Auburn fans about the offense this year. That concern came to a head last night when the Tigers lost to Mississippi State by only scoring 9 points. They traveled to Starkville for a night game against the Bulldogs, and it did not go well. Nick Fitzgerald on 3rd and 7 is going to be picked off by Jeremiah Dinson. The defense, though, for Auburn has been good all year. He takes it inside Mississippi State territory. Auburn can't move the ball and has to settle for a late field goal. Fitzgerald, no problem moving the ball this time, makes the right read and gains 29 yards before being tripped up. And the Bulldogs also settle for a field goal, so we're tied. All right, big moment here. 4th and goal with 4 seconds left in the first half. Fitzgerald keeps it, stretches out, and it's called a touchdown. And after the review, the play stands, so the Bulldogs take a 13-3 lead at half. Fitzmagic, the college edition, ran all over the Tigers in this one. He takes this one 29 yards again, but this time it's going to be a touchdown, and it seals the win for State as Auburn falls in Stark Vegas 23-9. Tigers' title hopes all but gone now. Number 2, Georgia hosting Vandy. Lots of questions on whether Jake Fromm will share time with Justin Fields again this week. Not with this kind of throw. Check this out. Drops back and hits Terry Godwin, the former Callaway grad, in stride. But it's not the catch you have to look at. It's him refusing to go down at the 10. Stays on his feet. Get off, and he dives into the end zone. 75 yards. UGA leads 7-3. To the second quarter we go. Still 7-3. Elijah Holyfield breaks off to the right side. He's going to go all the way to the pylon, dives, and they call him inside. Take another look. Yep, he made it. 24-yard touchdown. Georgia 14-3 lead. One-score game, though, and Fromm is aiming for Riley Ridley. And this time Ridley can't come up with it on the first try, but he does on the second one. Acrobatic catch. Dogs led 21-6 at the half, and they win 41-17. And finally, in the SEC, number 1 Alabama traveled to Arkansas for an afternoon game. First quarter, Bama leads 7-0. Tua Tagovailoa throws a pass to Irv Smith. Irv, great name. Hits him for 47 yards, but watch this. After he breaks a few tackles, the ball pops out, and it's recovered by Henry Ruggs of Alabama. The Tide can do no wrong. Bama up 34-14 now. Tua to Jerry Jeudy on the slant. Judy already has 1 touchdown. Sir, may I have another? Yes, you may. 60 yards for the tutty. Alabama wins big, beating Arkansas 65-31. And a couple nights ago, Georgia Tech hosted Louisville in a battle between 2 local quarterbacks in Taquan Marshall and Puma Pass. First quarter, Jordan Mason rushes up the middle for a 2-yard touchdown. Yellow Jackets up 21-0, and it's still the first quarter. Second quarter, Carver grad Puma Pass does what his last name says and hits Chatavius Atwell for the 29-yard touchdown on the left side. 21-7 Tech. Cards only down 10 now, but that would be as close as the Jackets would let them get. A 2-yard touchdown sweep to Quay Searcy. Georgia Tech dominates Louisville 66-31. Ouch. Before the NFL season started, the Falcons and the Steelers were thought to be serious Super Bowl contenders. But their first 4 games have suggested even a playoff appearance may be a little far-fetched. Falcons 1-3, Steelers 1-2-1 heading into this game in Pittsburgh. Steelers opening drive, James Conner from 1 yard out gets the score. He had 185 total yards and 2 touchdowns on the day. Steelers now make it 13-0 from Roethlisberger to Juju Smith-Schuster for the 18-yard touchdown. But Matt Ryan, as usual, keeping Atlanta in the game. Throws a great ball to Mohamed Sanu. He does the rest, getting his 2nd tutty of the year. Falcons down 13-7. Pittsburgh up only 3 late in the third. Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown. We've heard that before, and we're going to hear it again. 47 yards to A.B. Maction, baby. 3rd week in a row the defense has given up at least 34, and the Steelers win 41-17. Still to come in the last call, we take a look back at Week 8 in the Prep Zone as teams start to prepare and separate themselves with the playoffs less than a month away.
Hey, bring it in, everyone. Welcome to the Prep Zone presented by Wow. I'm Rex Castillo alongside my co-host Justin Holbrook. Now, Justin, some teams love to thrive on home field advantage, but Marion County hasn't been able to use that advantage a lot this year.
And while the Eagles are still undefeated heading into this week, tonight was just their second home game of the season.
That's incredible. Again, this environment is always electric, but Brookstone was not intimidated. They came to fight. There goes Ryan Coward. He gets the call, goes straight up the middle, point after no good, make it 6-0 Brookstone. Later, Josh Rogers calls his own number and binds Paradise. Eagles get the 2-point try, 8-6 Eagles, still in the first. Coward gets the rock, breaks the tackle, see you later. He goes 61 yards to the house. Cougars back on top, 12-8. Let's go to the second quarter now. Eagles counter with a King slaughter. Finds some daylight, goes 20 yards untouched into the end zone. Eagles take the lead back 15-12. Marion finds some momentum now. There goes Trayvon Matthews. Goes up the middle. Big hit. Falls into the end zone. 22-12 Marion. The party just getting started. Trice McCannon finds Josh Rogers. 56 yards to the house. Marion County had a 29-12 lead at the half. They go on to win this one big, 43-25 over Brookstone. And with this win, the Eagles will now host the 4-1A region championship game on November 2nd. Woo!
Could be playing Sly County. All right, the Pacelli Vikings looking to bounce back after losing the Brucelli Jug. Vikings with the ball. They'll set up the pass, but immediately snagged by Nigel Holt. He had a pick 6 last week. Can we make it 2? Oh, most definitely. Blue Devils take the 7-0 lead. Manchester with the ball now. Gamble hands off to Wadarius Steed, and that Steed can run. Breaks 2 tackles, and he's off to the races. He gone. Manchester had 34 points by the end of the first quarter, and it's easy to see why. Pacelli, no answer to that speed. You want some more touchdowns? All
sure.
Right, how about a punt return? Pacelli boots the ball to none other than Nigel Holt. We know he can score, and he's going to cut up to the left side and do exactly that, scoring again with blockers on the way. All the way to the house, Pacelli was looking for that bounce-back win, but today would not be this day. Manchester wins 70-14.
Video game numbers. Back in town, America Sumter and Columbus squared off at Connect Stadium. Let's go to 5:15 left in the first. Blue Devils were down 7, but Donovan Carter throws such a quick pass. I'll be honest, I missed it. Good thing Ian Rome didn't. Columbus ties it up at 7. Panthers punting this one away. Looks like a routine punt, but Columbus muffs it. Jaworski Whitehead jumps all over it, and Panthers take over in Columbus territory. Few snaps later, it's a quick screen pass to Montrellis Wilson, and Wilson has some wheels. Check out the moves on this kid. Breaking ankles and hearts. 27 yards later, he finds Pater. It was 14-7 with 4 minutes left in the first, but in the end, the Blue Devils complete the comeback to win it, 40-22. Justin.
Possible playoff team, and speaking of that, Sly County looking for their 5th win of the season as the Wildcats travel to take on the 2-3 Taylor County Vikings. Wildcats march down into the red zone, and Jakeem Hart muscles his way into the end zone to give Sly the early lead. They went for 2 and got it, so 8-0 Cats. A few snaps later, Sly County on the move again. This time, it's Trey Sampson cuts through the Vikings defense for the second Sly score, making it 15-0 Wildcats. Wildcats in the house. Had to do it. All right, the running attack was unstoppable tonight. 3 minutes left in the first. This time, it's Zamone Ross becomes the third Wildcat to find the end zone. 22-0 Wildcats. Sly County dominates tonight, 41-7. They could play Marion County in that region championship.
That's going to be a lot of fun. The Harris County Tigers hope to extend their winning streak to 3 games, but they had to do it against Warner Robins. It was not pretty. Early in the first, Dylan Fromm. Yep, Jake's little bro fakes a handoff, finds Markel Jones wide open, slices into paradise. Demons take the early 7-0 lead. That combo would be deadly. Fromm to Jones the other again. He doesn't fake 1, but 2 Tigers, Justin, and fights for extra yards. He's brought down inside the 5 to lead to another Demon score. Warner Robins could not be stopped tonight, y'all. Early second quarter, Fromm finds Caleb Thomas and Pater. The big fella makes it 21-0 Demons at that point. Harris County just did not have enough to keep up with them tonight. They lose it 41-0.
Harris County could use Justin Fields. All right, last night at Connect Stadium, Northside hoped to break their 4-game losing streak and had a good chance against winless Doherty. In the first quarter, Northside is in the red zone. Fred Davis Jr. gets the rock, and 14 yards later, he's in for the Paradise. Northside takes the 7-0 lead with about a minute and a half left in the first. A few minutes later, Chandler Blanton fires a dart to Jameel Johnson. He eats up 21 yards right in your living room. That could set up another field goal try. Cade Warner had a kick block in the first quarter, but this time, it's no problem for him and the Patriots. They take a 10-0 lead, and the Patriots snap their month-long losing streak by beating Doherty easily 38-7.
Congrats to the Pats. A battle of the undefeated tonight as Carver made the long road trip to Cairo. The Tigers fall for the first time this year, losing this one 43-14 to the Syrup Makers.
Tough loss for them. As for our teams on the road, Callaway wins big 45-6 over Lamar County, but not such a great week for our Prep Zone Athletes of the Week. Shaw falls to Westover on the road 51-0. And moving on, the Chatco Panthers keep the good times rolling. They run away with this one 42-6 over Randolph Clay. Red Devils have not notched a win this season.
Justin, the Central Red Devils were playing at home for the second week in a row.
Yeah, Rex, at home or on the road, it doesn't matter for the Red Devils. They're winning against everyone, everywhere by a lot. All right, let's see if they could get it done against Enterprise tonight. They made the long trip from Dothan to be in the Devil's Den at Harrison Stadium. Central offense went 3 and out on its first drive, but gets things going on the second drive. A quick screen to Deontay Williams. This one goes for 16 yards into Wildcat territory. The Red Devils had 2 touchdowns called back on this drive, but third time's the charm. Monte Spivey from 10 yards out to stare down the boot, and the Devils up 7-0. Central D was lights out once again, and the screen pass is snuffed out by Trayvon Miller behind the line of scrimmage. Central allows no points in this one. Wildcats are forced to punt once again. Great field position for Central, and Tucker Melton in at QB. He drops back on 3rd and 5 and hits Peter Jakes across the middle, and he gone 30 yards for the tutty. Central rolls 48-0.
My goodness, these boys are good. 4-2 Smith Station also at home for the second straight week. They're up 3-0, but Jeff Davis was on the Panther 1-yard line. Let's check this out. Second and goal, C.J. Wilson on the keeper, and the Panthers hold out. No score for you, sir. Turn around. So 3rd and goal on the 1 again. Once again, Wilson's QB keeper is denied. The Panthers 1 stop away from keeping Jeff Davis off the board. 4th and goal, same call, but not the same result. Wilson slides into the end zone, and the Volunteers lead 7-3 with just 30 seconds left in the half. But it's the Panthers who run off the field with a 23-17 win, thanks to a 23-yard TD run by DJ Moffitt with 1:24 left in the game. Congrats on the big win, guys.
They could be a playoff team. All right, Lafayette hosting Fayetteville in Region 4 2A play. Bulldog Z was very hostile against the Wolves. 4 Bulldog defenders bum rush the QB to force a punt. This would be a sign of things to come as the Bulldogs give up nothing tonight. On the first Bulldog drive, Jalen McCurdy keeps it on the RPO, and he made the right call as he goes untouched from 23 yards out for the touchdown. Bulldogs up 7-zip. Bulldogs in Wolf territory once again on the very next drive. This time it's McCurdy. He's going to drop back and pass it this time. It's a little wobbly, but it finds the hands of Keandre Peterson for the 37-yard score. Bulldogs lead 13-0 at that point, and they win 41-7.
Congrats to the Bulldogs. Homecoming at Chambers Academy. They host Pickens Academy. Midway through the second, Chambers up 14-0. Hayden Harris hands it off to the right side, throws a nice stiff arm. Gone for 39 yards to Pater. That puts the Rebels up 21-0. Next Rebel drive, they air it out. Peyton Allen rolls out, finds Caden Smoot, and Smoot dives in for 6. Chambers up 28-0. After a Pickens turnover, Chambers gives it to the playmaker, C.J. Lyon. He makes a couple guys miss, and on the way for a 23-yard touchdown. Rebels rolling 35-0. They win this one 49-0. Opelika picking up a much-needed win over Benjamin Russell on the road, 29-3 the final, and Beulah also on the road. They lose for the first time this year, falling 20-14 to Bullitt County.
All right, Valley traveling to Tallahassee, and the Rams go scoreless, losing 23-0. Russell County stunned Sidney Lanier 34-31 to get their very first win of the season. Congrats to the Warriors.
Catching up with some other teams, the Springwood Wildcats were actually at home, but they break a 4-game losing streak. Wildcats beat Evangel Christian 27-12. The Lakeside Chiefs hit the road to take on top-ranked Autauga Academy, but the Generals keep them underground 48-7. Generals on top.
Coming up on the last call, Braves are in the playoffs for the first time in 5 years. Could this young group overcome inexperience and shock the Dodgers in the NLDS? We'll show you after this. For the first time in 5 years, the Braves are back in the postseason. The week started with the Braves watching and waiting to see who they would play between the Rockies and the Dodgers in a one-game playoff to decide the winner of the NL West. The Dodgers came out with the win, so Atlanta began its preparation for L.A. Game 1 in La La Land on Thursday. The Dodgers jump out to a 4-0 lead after this 3-run bomb from Max Muncy. Dodgers cranked 3 home runs in this game alone. Mike Fulton-Evans struggled on the mound for Atlanta, but Hyun-Jin Ryu was on one for LA, gets his 8th strikeout of the game as the Dodgers take game 1 6-0. So game 2 the next night, Manny Machado went from the worst team in baseball in Baltimore to one of the best, and he's earning his keep right here. A 2-run shot in the top of the first inning. That's their second time getting a home run in the first inning. And what a snag by that kid. Turns out it was his birthday. He got to meet Manny Machado after the game. Pretty cool moment right there. Same score, bottom of the 5th. Yasmani Grandal, we'll be seeing you. Solo shot to right, and the Dodgers have 5 home runs through 14 innings. Not only do the Braves not have a home run, they don't have a single run. And Clayton Kershaw keeps it that way, striking out Charlie Culberson. Kershaw only gave up 2 hits in 8 innings as the Dodgers win game 2 3-0. So that left us tonight. The Braves had to win to stay alive. Ronald Acuna Jr. isn't old enough to buy a drink, but he can hit homers. And tonight, the 20-year-old got his first ever dinger in style with a grand slam to make it 5-0 Braves. The Dodgers tied it up in the 5th on a pair of home runs, but Atlanta retook the lead thanks to a Freddie Freeman solo shot in the 6th. And then, just minutes ago, Atlanta held off runners on 3rd and 2nd. Luis Vizcaino got a strikeout to end the game and win 6-5 and force Game 4 tomorrow in Atlanta. We'll be right back after this. All right, welcome back to Picks of the Week. I'm joined as always by Jack Patterson. Jack, what's going on, man?
It's all good, guys. How's it going?
Good, good. We got lots of football going on, so we're picking a top 25 team to go on the road and get a win. Who are you taking?
I'm going to the SEC, but not who you think I would go for. Not Georgia this time. I'm taking Texas A&M over South Carolina and Columbia. Kellen Mond's a really talented quarterback, and A&M showed a lot of guts in that overtime win over Kentucky. I think they'll knock off South Carolina.
Undefeated no more. All right, I'm going to go to the Big Ten. I'm taking Penn State number 8 to go into Michigan State and get a win there. Michigan State just doesn't look good this year.
They didn't look good last week.
All right, to the NFL we go. We are taking a game where the home team you think is going to win.
All right, I'm going to go Monday Night Football, the Packers over the 49ers.
Ooh, okay. The Packers didn't look so good against the Lions. More than just 5 field goals.
Jimmy Garoppolo's not starting for the 49ers anymore.
Good point. C.J. Beathard is though. I'm going to go ahead and take the Falcons. I know they're 1-4, but they're playing a struggling Tampa Bay team. This might be 2 defenses that aren't ready for each other, so I'll go with
That's
the Falcons.
what we said about the Steelers game.
That's true. That's true.
And the Saints game. And the Bengals game. Just saying.
That's a salty Falcons fan for you. And finally, we have our personal pick, and I think hockey's back.
Hockey is back, and that means Jack's picking the Predators again. They'll beat Calgary this week.
It's like Connor picking NASCAR. And for my personal pick, I am going to take the Dodgers over Milwaukee. Milwaukee has already advanced the Dodgers. We don't know if they have yet by the time we're recording this, but we're going to go ahead and say they probably have. Ooh. With the way the Braves have looked, because they haven't scored a run. So I'm going to take the Dodgers over Milwaukee. All right, you've got Rex's pick. Who's he got?
Yes, I do. He is taking UGA over LSU on the road down in Death Valley. He is taking the Browns to knock off the Chargers next week. And he is, because he is an Astros fan, Houston native, he's taking Houston to clinch the ALCS on the road against the Indians.
Oh, the ALDS, right?
To go to the ALCS.
Not hard because they already have a 2-0 lead.
Exactly.
All right, and so for Connor, he is taking UGA as well, going in Death Valley. Obviously, they lost to Florida. It was a good game, but tough loss for LSU.
Exactly.
He is taking the Falcons, too, so him and I are on the same page there in a battle of two bad defenses.
Yep.
And finally, he's taking his alma mater of Georgia Southern to win. So, and then the way things are shaping up, he didn't pick NASCAR this week. That's surprising.
This is a shock.
We'll see how it all shapes out, Jack. Thanks as always for joining me.
No problem, man.
All right, that's it for Picks of the Week. We'll be right back after this. Last week, Dylan Thomas, a football player at Pike County, suffered a head injury during the team's game. He was airlifted from the field and taken to Grady Hospital, where he passed away on Sunday night. What you have to see is the response from the Pike community and the team they play this week and the past few weeks. In the games across the state, several teams brought out the number 32 jersey, which was the number Dylan wore on the field. On the first play of the game between Manchester and Pacelli, both teams brought out a number 32 jersey. Just a reminder of what this is all truly about. We leave you this montage to remember a young man gone too soon.